All right, well, what's going on, everyone? So today's gonna be a little bit different than kind of what I've normally done. So normally I've kind of just taken some videos, talked over a little bit, and I'm gonna start just kind of talking throughout videos. So I mean, honestly, I don't know which direction this is gonna take. It could be a lot of different things. Probably gonna talk about definitely a lot of training stuff. Training around you know, parenthood, work, life, kind of all that stuff. Just some different things I've kind of picked up a little bit over the past couple of years. There's probably going to be some rants, just an FYI. Probably a good amount of PT related rants because a lot of the stuff I see online is just straight up clickbait garbage. Um, and yeah, really just other than that, just some kind of insight into what I'll do from a training standpoint on a weekly basis, monthly basis, really just kind of things like that. Training around injuries, mainly just because not only that's what I do a lot from a job standpoint, but anyone that trains long enough will tell you that you kind of have to at some point train around an injury. So there's going to be a good amount of that we kind of go over. But really for today is probably my day three, final day of lifting for the week. I really have kind of cut back to about 3 days of lifting per week. And now, what I'll say is like 3 days like barbell work per week. I've just found if I try to go any more than that, it doesn't really go too well. The other days of the week, I like to do some type of either circuit training, some tempo work, walking, just kind of getting moving. Maybe getting a little bit of a pump on those other days, but nothing really crazy. And I kind of really just the three barbell days a week seems to really be enough more than anything. So, I mean, this is kind of the start of how I normally kind of start my sessions. I'll usually do some type of just kind of hip foam rolling just to kind of get the back of the hip to open up a little bit. We have today some hang power cleans, some trap bar deadlifts, and then some accessory work. And yeah, I mean, the hang power cleans are probably going to go for like working up to some doubles. The trap or deadlift, probably some threes or some fives, and then the accessory work, we kind of go from there more than anything. So this is really kind of all the start here. Kind of just then get into a little bit of some different, just kind of some different hip mobility, really some posterior hip capsule mobilization. Just kind of getting some kettlebells, getting breathing a little bit, as you can probably hear. I'll hit some sumo deadlifts. So we're going to be here again today. We're going to focus on some hang power cleans, pushing a little more intensity from a double standpoint, and then some trap bar deadlifts. Oh, man. And really, I mean, a warm up, kind of pivoting a little bit here. Warm up should take you 10, 15 minutes. If you got some stuff that injury wise, injury history, just use the warm up as that time to kind of tackle that stuff. Okay. All right. Let's get this going. Oh. Now, one thing I'll say, I mentioned earlier in the video, if you're, when you're 20 in college or whatnot, hell, you got all day to train. When you're not, you got work, business, family, whatever it is, training's got to be a little bit different. And in a lot of cases, if I'm not in and out within 45 minutes at most between warm up, main lift, accessory work, cool down if I feel like it, which I would always say do a cool down. Don't take that advice. If you can't get done in 45 minutes, then you're wasting some time on something or spending too much time. So just a little kind of food for thought for kind of adults training out there. And honestly, I've just found too, when people typically give themselves too long of a warm up, it can really be a big reason as to why things go well from a training standpoint or don't go well. And really just kind of getting the shoulders warmed up here, getting a good front rack, benched and did a lot of yesterday, so arms a little bit sore. What are you gonna do? Figure it out, keep going. All right. Hit a couple RDLs. Go from below the knee today. Kind of work some pulls now. My biggest issue is I tend to come up on my feet too early. So really kind of exaggerating that pull into here. All right, let's hit the set and then we'll get back into ranting. Okay. All right, not feeling bad today. Hold that thought. Gotta get more weight. You'll find too. Listen, if you're lifting in the basement, you got minimal room. Stuff goes. Maybe not in convenient spots. You got to walk for weights. You got to walk for weights. Just get it done. All right, so probably got one or two more warm-up sets here. We're at 185. We're working up to like three sets of doubles. 205 would be cool. 225 would be cooler. Kind of see where that goes with us. I'm honestly a little bit fatigued today, but still gonna try to get after it if we can. That's just kind of how training goes, especially as you get older. You gotta be smart about it, but that just also like, you gotta be about it to a degree. All right. 205. This might be my first working set. We'll see where we're at. Ideally, I was trying to get 3x2 at 225, but even if it's two of them, I'm cool with that. All right, well, so we're chilling 205 today. That kind of sucked. Probably two more sets here. See how the second set goes. Maybe take 215 for a spin. All right. Last set. And we're going to go up 10. Why not? So 215 for two here. See how it goes. All right, cleans are done. We're on some trap bar. Probably work up to a couple sets of 5. Maybe a couple sets of 3. Kind of see where we're at. 3s or 5s today. It's kind of game time decision. All right, start getting our first working sets of 5 here. I don't really know how much is on there. 285, 285 to 95, something like that.